making this video about a torn long head of the bicep, which is on this left arm here. So you can see it's a little bit, disfigured. Anyway, making this video that hopefully will, one, maybe help people avoid this injury, and then two, if you have the injury, just to give you my experience and how I'm going about it, to help you with however you decide to go about yours. This has been very difficult for me. Mostly the decision of to get surgery or not to get surgery. So firstly, I'll just quickly explain how it happened, and then I'll go through what I've decided to do. So I was looking at a video just now, back in April 2022, and I only realized these things, I think, maybe later when you've had a bit more, sadly, when you get injured, you understand what injury feels like, and before that, you don't know what the limit is of things. Anyway, back in April 2022, so it's now August 2025, so just over 3 years ago, I was, you know what? I'm going to quickly check that. I just checked as per the video. Yeah, so prior to that comp, I took about 5 days off training because I actually hurt my other shoulder, not in a bad way, but just sort of jarred it doing a vault. Anyway, because of that, I hadn't trained for a couple of days, and I guess I was slightly unconditioned. And then on rings, the first skill I did was a slow and locate, and I remember I felt something strange happen in my shoulder as I did that skill. It's really intense shoulder mobility. Definitely something you got to really prepare for gradually, because it can be dangerous. In this case, I'm pretty certain I, in that point, tore my long head biceps in my left arm, and again, you don't track these things now like that intently, because you don't know if it's just a little niggle that will go away. But I do remember from that point on, really, that doing things like pelican curls, so when the arm's behind and curling backwards like this, and deep dips, I would feel like this tightness in the front of my shoulder, and I just think that was the long head being weakened and torn and a bit painful. So that really slowed me down for quite a while. For a year, I was basically just avoiding, giving it time to heal and gradually challenging it. And then I think after a year, I started to push it a bit more because I figured that had been quite a lot of time. It handled it because I've been doing everything. I remember, when I started pushing a bit with the crosses, I felt during one cross, supported cross, hold, I felt a little something. So I again stopped and came back to it slowly. But it's just not been the same. And then more recently, it was about 2 months ago. I think it was early June. I'm going to check this again, sorry. In early June, so it doesn't matter, 2 months ago, but in early June, I was training. I was on the rings doing a handstand bale swing back to handstand, so giant attempt. And when I was coming up from that trying to swing up to a handstand, and I was twisting my arm this way and pushing the rings behind me. I'm upside down doing that. I felt another little tear in that area. And so then I just stopped doing the rings. I just tested it. It was a little bit uncomfortable here doing this motion. And then, so I tried to go to vault instead, because that's more a leg apparatus. But as I was trying to sprint for the vault, just doing that motion felt uncomfortable. So I stopped, and then I went to see the physio. After a couple of days of not, that sort of lingering issue. And the physio checked all my stability in my shoulder and that, and again, he cleared me because it was all stable and strong. I still had all my strength everywhere. So then about a week after that, I didn't quite feel normal, but given I'd been cleared, and we had nationals, like the competition in, I think it was 3 weeks from then. So it was either I can't, in the middle of a comp season, you might feel things here and there, but typically if you've been told that they're okay, then you're going to just try to work through it rather than just stop. So on the rings, I tried doing a dislocate, and I felt something not right in my arm. Where again, I felt like I think I'm pretty sure around that's when it actually fully tore. Like I felt a movement in my arm, like a muscle kind of flicking over another muscle, and I've had that before where I've torn my right teres major. Anyway, so that, and then I went into the high bar. It sounds quite silly now, but at that time, I'm trying to listen to my body a little bit because I'm competing. I'm trying to, not do what I can do, So then I went into the high bar and I was doing a swing half turn, and on the swing half turn, you swing up towards a handstand. So you're sort of pulling this arm behind your head and pushing as you turn. And as I did that turn, then it felt disgusting in my arm. I think that's the point when it fully tore, because it's been completely torn. Yep, and then I had bruising in that a couple of days after that, and that's when I knew I had a problem, so I went and got an MRI. And yep, it was a torn long head of the biceps, just up here. Yeah, and that's from there. Went and saw a surgeon, and in that consult, okay. So the injury itself is a tricky one because you can get away with not having surgery. You can just rehab it. It seems like the literature is not. There's debate as to if the long head is superficial and doesn't actually provide stability to the shoulder, and is it even necessary? Is it one of those things that we evolved out of and it just became a bit redundant? So some people think that way. They think it doesn't matter, you tear it. I don't have any pain. I can do everything basically normally. I just lack the strength in the specific supination and handstand kind of things where you need to be twisting your arm that way. So it's very specific as to the things that I'm lacking strength in because of that. And because of that, a lot of people don't get surgery. They just strengthen up the other muscles, and that's it. And they live a pretty good normal life anyway. And I've done that again before. I've torn my teres major in this arm. You can see it's a bit stringy. I didn't get surgery on that. I just rehabbed it. So this has been very difficult for me because I'm trying to figure out what's the best thing to do. I don't like the idea of getting surgery. There's chances of complications and risks, and it's crazy trauma to your body as well. Also, I'll have a sling on for probably 4 weeks, so that's really going to just impact my daily life. The amount of things I do with both my hands all the time, I'm always riding my bike around. I can't do that. Drive a manual car, I can't do that. Working, I'm like helping people, demonstrating things, can't do any of that. Anyway, I can work around all these things, but it's something to consider. Anyway, so yeah, I don't hope I've outlined that, but it's really a debatable thing as to, is surgery necessary and is it helpful? And then just to go into, this video is going way longer than I wanted it to, but I'm sorry, but I'm just trying to cover everything. The other thing about the long head of the bicep injury is the long head of the bicep connects to the scapula, and then it's torn out of there. But when you get the tenodesis, which is what I'm going to get, is they reattach it to the humerus. So it's not connecting the shoulder to the rest of your body like previously. So you don't quite have that same stability that you originally had. But even that, it seems to be debated. I'm not an expert, by the way, obviously. Consult a doctor and all these things. But from what I've read, the stability in the original long head is debatable as to how much it offers. But I mean, just logically, it makes sense that it would give a little bit more stability having it connected into a different bone as opposed to just being on the same bone that's before your shoulder joint. So because of these things, it's been hard for me to decide what is the benefit of me getting surgery. And I also want to be the kind of person that just makes a decision and goes ahead with it, but I also don't want to make I want to have considered all the options and done that. It's just so hard, this one for me. Anyway, but my honest thoughts and what's helped me decide, maybe this give you some ideas as well, is was if I don't operate on it, well, I don't have any pain, that's great. But my arm is a bit disfigured, and I do care about aesthetics, you know, not overly, like health is important. But yeah, it's a bit of a shame to have my arm that looks a bit weird. Yeah, I could live with it, but I'd rather it not be like that. And then the slight lack of strength. So doing like the press to handstands, especially on them, I noticed that that's part of the arm. I feel like, I don't know, how do I explain it? That part of my arm, it feels like it needs a muscle running through there that I can pull through, because I guess I'm used to having that. So not having it just kind of feels like it's lacking. Yeah, and then the idea of just having weaker supinations ever so slightly because there's not that muscle helping with that. Yeah, these things are just not ideal. Yeah, so then having the surgery, it should give me obviously more strength long term. Short term, I'll be way worse off. But and given I'm 35, hopefully got many activities ahead of me that I'm gonna maybe use that muscle for. So I think based on that and not wanting to regret, again in 10 years, if I've got this arm that's slightly, like looking like that, and if it's weaker, and if in my head I'm thinking, oh, I'm just weaker at these things because of my injury, I don't think it should be like that. You should always, like, your body will recover, things will compensate, but just to give me the ultimate like feeling of strength in that by having the surgery done, I think I'll think to myself, well, you went through all that, mate, so like and you've done the rehab, so now it should be solid and it's as good as it can be. And then therefore I would not regret that, so that's basically why I've decided. I'm still struggling with this, but I think I've got the surgery scheduled for tomorrow, so let's just do it. Yeah, and even the surgeon and the physios have said to me, it's your choice. No one has said definitely do this or definitely don't do this, which again makes it just difficult. It's just a personal decision. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead with it. I've never had surgery like this before, so I also maybe this is dumb, but I feel like that's a new experience. I'll be more empathetic to people that have had surgery. It's also kind of scaring me into not really damaging, like I've already got rotator cuff tears and things like that, but not making them worse, because then having to get rotator cuff surgery would be this kind of thing again, but I'd say more significant and maybe less likely to have a good outcome. So yeah, it's given me that kind of perspective. Yeah, and I don't want fear to stop me from doing things. Obviously, I'm very uncomfortable about having an operation and having muscles manipulated by a surgeon, my skin cut open, my bone drilled through, something put inside of me to anchor it. All these things make me quite uncomfortable. But I want to try to keep that as like something that doesn't matter. It's just do what is ultimately the best thing. Don't let the fear influence me. Also, there's the cost. Like, it's going to be pretty expensive. Even, yeah, I won't go into insurance on that, but it's just going to be expensive. But again, that's not something I want to. I feel like I shouldn't let that influence me at all. Like, health is it's so important, and so whatever it costs, without being an idiot, but try not to let that influence my decision. So yeah, I'm scheduled for surgery tomorrow. I'll probably do some update. It's funny, I also don't want to make these videos because it's just kind of depressing, and I'm not happy that I'm in this situation, but more so that if it's helpful to anyone, then that's great. So yeah, surgery tomorrow. I'll give you guys an update. I'm holding the camera with my left arm. Might be able to do that for quite a while after this. Yeah. Hope you guys are good. I'm all good. I'm fine. That's just yeah, have to take time off training for a while and focus on some other things. Yeah, hopefully we'll have some more fun content soon.